Hello, everyone. How is it going on this awesome Friday night? Decided to impromptu go live. Let's talk about the C8. I'm really excited for this car almost being here. It seems like it's taken forever. I've talked about this in past videos that the C7 took longer to get. Believe it or not, the C7 did take longer to get. We're right on the verge of the C7. I want to say hello to everybody. Some of you guys that came right in here right at the beginning. Nash Rambler, B-Dub65, thank you for being here. Marcus, Skeet, GL Wimsit, Lisa, hey, Dalton, Scott Davis, Team Raptor, Hunter Dwyer, Evo Rocks, Jay Wilson. Hey guys, how's it going? Glad to have you here on this Friday night. We're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. So if you want to throw comments in the comment section, I'll read those. And then this is cell phone number strictly for me live streaming. This has nothing to do with business. It has nothing to do with car sales. This phone is off except for when we're live streaming. So this is not the phone number to ever call to talk to me. It's never a phone to try to get sales tips or anything like that. Of course, if you want to support the stream, you can go to ChevyDudeStore.com, get yourself some merch, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Love doing this. This is my third live stream I've ever done, like focused, all this professional equipment. I'm excited to do some C8 content. Every Tuesday night at 7 p.m., I'm going to start live streaming the Beyond the Showroom podcast. I do have Beyond the Showroom audio podcast up on... what do I have it on? I have it on two platforms. I can't remember what I have it on because this is all new to me, but it is in Spotify and it is on something else, Spotify for sure. And I submitted it to iTunes today to get going. So we'll come up to the top here with these couple early guys coming in. And then we'll talk about some of these questions here. Nash says, can you get the C8 with a painted and clear top? Like back in the day, you can. There's actually 5-6 different tops for the C8. You know what? I was going to record the audio, and that's going to have to do this over again. All right, so let's get to our first question. Nash Rambler says, can you get the C8 with a painted and clear top like back in the day? And the answer is yes. I believe there are 6 tops. We have the painted carbon fiber top, which is not carbon fiber this year. That's C7 painted top. We have the exposed carbon fiber top, and then we have the transparent top. And then we have 3 roofs for the convertible. We have the painted roof. We have the black nacelles. That's just like behind your head here. And for the audio portion of this, it's I'm focusing behind the head, like those little points that come up. And then you have the black nacelles and black roof. So there are 6 total roofs available for the 2020 Corvette. So it's kind of fun and exciting. And B-Dub asked what my overall impression of the 14 speaker system. I got a lot of time in the speaker system. Played some good music. There's some really good songs out there, and unfortunately, I can't really show you on the internet because number one, I'll get a community strike for copyright for using copyrighted music for good music, and then secondly, you just can't hear it, right? I mean, we don't have the same system, so you can't hear how good it sounds through your phone or through your computer or through a set of headphones or anything like that. So it's all, you have to take my word for it. It's an awesome system. This is the most speakers that Bose has ever put in a 2-door car. I don't know if anybody has said that yet. So with the media going to their ride and drive they had last week, some stuff came out that I've known for a long time, but I haven't shared it or talked about it because I was scared. I was under embargo, right? So I was really scared to talk about a lot of the stuff that was coming out. So one of the things that I learned back in December that the owner's manual was going to come out in January, right? January. That didn't come out. That came out yesterday. So there's a lot of information that I get from people that I really don't even talk about. I'd never even share with you because I just don't deem it reliable. I don't deem it credible. And I don't want to put false accusations out there or false information out there. So I really just don't really talk about it much with as much information I got and get from people. And then I thought this one was a good one too from B-Dubs, and I appreciate the comments in here. We're going to run through as many of these as we can. The dealership parts department says the illuminated door sill plates are battery powered. Is this common? One, they are battery powered. I believe they take 3 batteries in each sill plate. I believe that's the number. And then they're just like key fob batteries, right? Nothing different. They're very easily get. I don't know what size battery they are. And so that's what you get. And I guess they're easy to take off. We're going to find out because I'm going to get them and we're going to have them. But yeah, so there is definitely batteries in this thing here. So let's go through some of these. I believe Taco posted a video. Are you going to Chevy paint? So I don't know. Skeet069 asked, are you going back to the Chevy plant and try to see your car again? I know where my car is at, but it's visible from the street, right? It's much more visible than what it is. And I did not share with you a video that I do have of my car, just because I just didn't think it was good enough, right? I didn't put it in the video of tracking my car down, so I could see it from a great distance. The lights were flashing and all that stuff, but I just didn't use it. I just didn't like it. So the amount of video that I record for myself and all of that stuff, and I don't produce is absolutely amazing. And a lot of times I just delete it because I don't even want to mess with it, right? I don't ever want to have to look at that again. So I just delete so much stuff out there. I thought this was a great one. GL Wimstead asked, in your honest opinion, is the C7 better looking than the C8? That is definitely tough. I saw that when I was watching you guys come in, that question I thought about, so I've had a little bit of time to think about it. And is it better looking than the C8? I think they look very similar, right? And definitely the flat back, I think, looks a lot like the C7 convertible, right, with the flat back. So I don't think that looks much different than the C7. So definitely more Euro looking, definitely more McLaren looking. So the stuff that I've got back in, where did I get this information? 2015, I think. Some of the information that I was given, I was told, just think McLaren, right? So that's what it's stuck in my head because of that information that I got from the get-go. So it's kind of interesting. Let's look. Can you rev a 2020? You can rev a 2020. So Dalton asked, can you rev a 2020? So the really cool thing about this, which I've driven the car, I've played around with the car, I've got a lot of time behind the car. You're going to see that coming up here next week. But you've seen this talked about, right? So if you pull both of the flappers, both of the paddle shifters in, the plus and the minus at the same time, that disengages the clutch. What most people don't realize on a double clutch transmission, that it's actually 2 manual transmissions in layman term, right? So I like if I just said that and it might maybe just a little off, I'm going to get roasted. I get that. I'm not a mechanic, but the way it's been explained to me is it's basically 2 manual transmission cars or two manual transmissions. So when you pull that in, it disengages the clutch and allows you to rev the car. So when you're doing that, pulling the plus and the minus button in, it's basically like pushing in that third pedal in our cars, just like my C7. When I push in my C7 clutch, I can rev it up. It's kind of the same way what you're doing with the 2020. So and speaking of, I was gonna say Camaro, because on the Camaro I had to actually tune my car in order to rev it in neutral while I was under 20 miles an hour and get better revs of it. Scott Davis asked, will the new Vette hurt Camaro sales? I think Camaro sales have hurt Camaro sales. I think Camaro's hurt Camaro sales. Unfortunately, I think Camaro's the best mid-range sports car out there. I think it's much better than the Mustang. It's a biased opinion for sure, 100% biased opinion. But I love the Camaro. I had a 16. I had a Gen 5. I had a Gen 4. I had an F-body Camaro. I mean, I've had Camaros like most of my life. The F-body wasn't a nice one, but it was an F-body. So So I've had 3 generations of Camaros, and I'm getting ready to have my 2nd generation Corvette. So unfortunately, Camaro sales are down, but it is what it is. So let's go down through these a little bit more. So this is a really good question here. How long after build week can we expect to get the car? I have a build week of 323 and want to know when to expect the car. This is a great question, and it's a really, really tough thing to answer. So typically speaking, and I can only speak about my dealership, right? My dealership is 90 miles away from the plant, right? So I have a little bit of a benefit of being so close to the plant. With the C7, once it was well into production, we could see a car anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks, depending on quality hold. It's all about that quality hold. Nothing has changed in the C8 than the C7, and as far as I remember, C6, and it really didn't do a whole lot in C5 era, but definitely C7 for sure. And nothing has changed with the way they're doing quality hold. I've always said from the get-go, from July, from early on, before the reveal, I've always said 6 weeks to quality hold. We're at 4 weeks right now. It looks like that quality hold is up because my personal car is at 4,000 status, and then 4,140, I think the number is. That means the bailment invoice has been done. My car has not been invoiced to the dealership. I'm hoping that soon, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We check every single day on it. My team, my ownership, we talk about it every Friday. We sit down. We talked about it today a little bit when we expect to see the invoice. And right before I left the office, Mr. Bachman was like, "Are we going to get an invoice in your car tomorrow?" I said, "I don't know. We'll see. It'd be nice if we did," because I'm only 90 miles away from the plant. So effectively, my car should be one of the first ones to hit, which I'm banking on. I think it'll be good YouTube content. I've never done this before. I'm out of my element. I'm completely out of my element on this. And so, we'll see. We'll see what happens on everything there, and we'll get the car up here. So quality hold can be a really short time, or it can be a really long time. But once stuff gets up, I mean, you could see your car within just a couple weeks. I've had a car built on a Monday, and I got the car at my dealership on a Tuesday. No lie. Didn't even realize it was built. I hadn't even went in to build it yet or check on it being built. So it must have got off the line like really, really early that Monday. And then the truck just had other vehicles to bring up. So they're like, "Hey, throw this one on there. It's going to Bachman as well." And they threw it on, and lo and behold, I have the car the day after it's built. Crazy fast. Wasn't for a customer. It was just for inventory, but that's happened. And then if you're west of, let's say, the Mississippi, your car goes on a rail car, and it could take you 4 weeks to get to California. So what happens, I believe this to be true with the C8 as well. I'm watching it and going to find out and make sure. Your car gets on a truck, goes up to Toledo, Ohio, and then gets on a rail car from Toledo, Ohio, goes west. The average miles per hour speed through the city of Chicago is 1.2 miles per hour, 1.2 miles per hour rail car speed. And most of them only can go through Chicago in the middle of the night because we have all the rail and commuter. So so it's really, really slow going west. That's why I talk to my clients and tell them the benefit of buying from me is I get the car quick. Number one, like I just mentioned, and number two, I can get it on a truck and out west before they can even think about getting it to the west. So because my guys are usually picking the cars up 2 to 3 days and then about 6 days out there. So you're looking at 9 to 10 days when it could take 3 to 4 weeks to get to the west. Look over a couple more questions. I'm doing this live tonight by myself, so I don't have anybody helping me out. The new Vet is complete with the European market. It's definitely going to, this is what Evo Rock says, the new Vet is to compete with the European market, definitely going to compete with the European market. I think, as I've said this off camera, that with $60,000 purchase price, we pretty much killed the Porsche Cayman and the Porsche Boxster. I mean, why would anybody want to buy one of those cars unless they're a brand loyalist, right? I get that. And I'm not knocking the car either. So don't think that I'm knocking Porsche in any way, shape, or form. Love Porsche. They make a great product. And but I mean, it's $60,000 getting in, not getting into a 911, not getting into a Cayman and have the expense and the upkeep and the maintenance and stuff like that. The maintenance is really, really cheap on a C8. So it's kind of be interesting. They're definitely competing with the market for the Europeans. Let me read down through some more of these comments. So when do you take delivery of your C8? Hopefully soon. I don't know. I don't have any inside information. I actually had somebody call me from the plant the other day asking me about ordering a truck, and he's working inside the plant, and he says, hey, I've seen your car, and I cut him off right there. I said, listen, don't give me any information on my car. Everybody's watching me. Everybody's listening. I'm not trying to do insider information. I'm not trying to leak information. I've got a lot of information in my head, and I got a lot of information that people have told me, but I'm not leaking anything. I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do, because I do work at a dealership, and they watch me, right? So I don't want any issues with my dealership. I feel that some people in GM don't like me anyways, so I'm trying not to give them a reason to not like me more, contact my ownership, stuff like that. So Nick says, happy Friday to you guys. So here's a really good one. Robert said, do any dealers have any C8 allocations? Can't find any. And it's a tough question. It's a really tough question. So if a dealership has a 2020 allocation right now to this minute, I would be really, really scared with having that. Why don't they have these things sold back in July and August and September, right? There's a million reasons why, but my biggest reason why is I would be afraid that they were playing games, that they were going after over markup stuff. They're tacking on extra ADMs, dealer markups and stuff like that, or they're trying to put on window tint for $1,000 or stuff like that, right? That's what I'd be scared of. And you got to go backwards to my videos and ask those questions, so that way you know that you're getting the right thing, paying MSRP, you're not paying over market, you're not paying all that stuff. Again, I've talked about this so many times, but paying over MSRP for a car let me rephrase that. Paying over MSRP for a common car is absolutely ridiculous, right? Okay, so we have a we talked about Porsche earlier, we have a GT3 RS. Good luck getting one of those at MSRP, right? You're looking at some type of rare Ferrari or Lamborghini or something like that. Good luck getting one of those at MSRP. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a car that they're going to build 30 to 50,000 units of. There's no reason to pay over MSRP, because you're never going to get that money back. And the fact of it is too, that that car is going to depreciate in value extremely quick, year 2. All right. So I know that I'm paying all this money for my car, and I'm never going to see the value of that car. I know that, right? So, but my car is an investment into this channel, and is an investment into the Corvette community, because I want to be able to do a lot of different things with this car and show you how the car works, how this works, how that works. I've said this before. I would typically never order a 3LT for my personal opinion, right? For my personal likes and dislikes, I would not own a 3LT. I like the 2LT. I think it's the best bang for your buck. But if you want to go to a 3LT and you want all one of those available colors that's in the 3LT, that's the reason why. But outside that, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I have a 16 sitting up in my garage right above me, and it's a 2LT, and it's loaded up, and it was about $75,000 new. That's like the primo price point on that. So let's talk about, somebody said something about shipping. So we don't know when quality hold is done. Well, quality hold is probably done on those first cars, but we don't know when they're going to start shipping them. It might be Monday. We don't know. They didn't do it today. That was the rumor. And you'll never see me put out rumors, right? I don't put out rumors. You didn't see me talk about anywhere on the social media about the possible of the beginning shipping tomorrow. You didn't see any of that stuff because I didn't find it credible. I did have people tell me that if everything goes right, they're going to ship out today, but I just still didn't feel it credible. And I had some people watching for me, and just nothing really left. So as far as what I've seen. So I've seen this question a couple times. Will the C8 ZR1 possibly go over 800 wheel horsepower? I also saw 1,000 horsepower question in there. So you got to realize that from the manufacturer, we don't talk wheel horsepower, okay? We talk about crank horsepower. That's why it's just HP. So will the ZR1 be over 800? It's got to be, right? The current C7 ZR1 is 755. It's a monster. It's a beast. I've handled some time behind that car, and just absolutely a blast. But the C8 ZR1, man, I can't imagine that thing not being really, really, really high. So, it'll be fun. So here's one from texting in. So you can text in your questions as well. I'm just doing it by myself tonight. So 248 area code, which is Michigan. So I get all these calls from all over the country. I typically know where area codes are. I pretty much have them all memorized. It's crazy. So 248 area code asks, when is the GM employee discount going to start on the C8? This is Red Stingray Corvette. So Red Stingray Corvette, we don't know. They have not told us. So there is no employee discount currently on the C8, but it is what it is. 616 area code. That is Michigan. Oh, that's Michigan as well. 616. Tim is his name. I don't have my order number yet. Dealer says possibly in March. Will I get a 2020 or 2021? Ooh, that's a good question, Tim. So another Michigan customer. So you should be able to get an order number, right? So I had this conversation with a customer today. Getting an order number is really, really easy, and they can put your order in at any time and sit there and have your order just sitting in there and waiting. So I'm a big fan of having the older orders in there because you never know what GM's going to pick up. You never know what they're going to do. Back in the day, it used to be the older the order, the more it got picked up. It's what I was taught. It's what I was learned. It might be right, might be wrong. I don't know, but that's what I went after. So so it's kind of interesting. Another 616 area code asked me, what is the puck spacing for the lift? I thought I measured this, and I don't probably have this. So I measured this back in September, and I don't have it. It's much, much bigger than the C7 though. I'll tell you that. Much, much bigger than the C7. Another question from the same 616 area code. Thoughts on the best lift system? I think the best lift system out there is made by Benpack. You probably know them as Quick Jack. I have one in my garage. You're going to see that on the channel here really, really soon. Kind of showing you that system. I love the Quick Jack. It's a phenomenal system. I watched them from day one when they started. Cletus McFarland's got one. I watched how his works. Really, really sweet. And but it's going to be absolutely amazing on everything. So I want to shout out David. Thank you so much, dude. Great work. Enjoy your behind the scenes. I really appreciate that. I tell people on the phone, typically my clients that have C8s on order, because I hate saying I don't know. I mean, I hate saying I don't know, and saying I don't know. In my mind, just speaks incompetence, right? Doesn't mean that you're dumb, doesn't mean that you're not doing your job, but in the car industry, that's what it means, right? So I'm not being degrading, I'm not being negative to anybody because I'm not neither one of those, but we've all been to a car dealership, right? We've all asked a car salesman, hey, what about this? Or what about that? And the car salesman doesn't know, right? And that's frustrating. So I've always went over and beyond and went to the next level to try to give everything I can to everybody out there. And this being one of those things is the owner's manual came out yesterday. I'm showing everybody on screen for the listeners. This is the owner's manual for the 2020 C8 Corvette. 337 pages. I'm reading every ounce of this, every single ounce of this. It's crazy. Again, you want to know some more bad information? I haven't found it yet in here. But I was told that if you want to take the C8 through an automatic car wash, there's a setup system in the car that you have to do before you do that. I said, really? That's cool. And of course, I'm thinking that's a video idea, right? So I'm reading through that. Of course, I got it in PDF, so you can do Control F to find stuff. And there's nothing in there. Nothing in there. Crazy. So again, just some of the bad information that I've probably have gotten, or maybe not so much true, or that game when they start saying, hey, the color of my pen is blue, right? And then you get down at the end of the line and they're like, hey, frogs don't say ribbit. They, whatever the case may be. I'm just making stuff up. But that's the type of things that I hear all the time that I don't talk about out there. So let me run down these. My 2020 has been pulled. Craig, congratulations. I'm glad to hear that. I love seeing these people get their cars. I absolutely love it, right? So when I talked with my ownership and dealership, I'm like, listen, I want to have the first C8 in the country. I want to have the first car at our dealership. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I said, here's where I think I'm going to get some hate, right? So I don't want hate. Hate happens on my channel every day. I don't hate anybody. And I don't hate anybody for hating on me. I said, but people are going to complain that I got my car first, which they have. I've seen these comments before. But it's like, I want to do it for the brand. I want to do it for the company. I want to do, and I'm saying company for General Motors and Chevrolet, not Bachman Chevrolet, right? I do everything I can for Bachman Chevrolet. I love our owners. I love the management. It's a family atmosphere. The video I shot today at work, I'll probably put on my Facebook page, or maybe my Instagram page, which is right there on the screen. It's Louisville_Chevy_dude for the podcast listeners. But we're a family atmosphere, right? So when I say I want to do something good for the company, it means the company in general. Bachman, General Motors, Chevrolet. I love all of them. I'm passionate about all of them. So I want to do as much as I can for them and give good information out there, regardless of what anybody else thinks. So William from Granbury, Texas, love it. Love Texas. Got a lot of customers in Texas. The answer question about a Buick, maybe about a Buick. You can throw that down there if I can get there. Keith from Louisville. I love Louisville people. I love it. So a lot of people from Louisville, people walk into the dealership all the time. It's so awesome. I mean, you guys are more than welcome to come to my dealership anytime. When you get the when I get the car here, you can come look at the car. I don't have a problem with that. If you want to sit in the car, you can sit in the car. Not a problem with that. But unless somebody like damages it and is negligence, then I might get a little analytical and ADD and just freak out a little bit. But I'll get over it and maybe saran wrap the seats or something. I don't know. But that's been in my head too. But I love people walking in the store, and I just tell everybody the only thing that you just need to do is if I'm with a client, if I'm selling a car, if I'm making my living, you just got to be patient with me. If I only have 10 seconds to say hi to you, it's just because you came in at the wrong time. It has nothing to do with me being some crazy YouTuber, because I don't think that way, right? So it's just timing's everything. Jay Russell asked, what's the factory rated tire pressure for both the front and the rear? Perfect question. Let's everybody give him a thumbs up on the channel for that question, because that's a really good, strong question. The recommended tire pressure for all four tires is 30 PSI. Sometimes in the winter, like I'm going to drive mine in the winter. It's currently snowing here in Louisville. Snow. You might want to push them up a couple extra pounds. My cars are currently, my C8 is currently sitting at 32 PSI, but the 30 PSI is the standard. Brock Phillips, welcome from Florida, buddy. How are you? I see you're in here. I have an order with Chevy Dude at 1100. Yes, you do. So when is my Vet coming? When is my 2020 Vet coming? I can't tell who you are through your name, Jay Wilson, but hopefully soon. Ed from Delaware, hello. Thank you for being here. Stradman C8, if you know, how is it going with Stradman C8? So you have to tune in to Stradman's channel. I don't want to give any secrets away. I'm not sure where he's at on his, because unfortunately with my busy schedule, as I'm been sitting on this live stream now, how long have I been on? So I've been on, I don't know, 32 minutes. There we go. 32 minutes. This is what I'm doing on my Friday night, and I'm not watching YouTube like you guys are. So I don't watch a lot of YouTube because I'm just so busy, but Stradman will definitely update you on that. Something what he and I talk about his car on a routine basis, and same with Amelia's, and same with everybody else's. I try to talk to as many people as I can. Robert asked, when will the Z06 come out? So my thought process is no insider information on this. I don't have anybody telling me anything. This is strictly coming out of the way I think. So I think 2022 model year. I don't think we're gonna see a new car in 2021. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm more than happy to be wrong, but here's my thought process behind why we're not going to see a different car in 2021, because we always have in the years past. So 14 was the first year of the C7, Z06, 2015, C6, 05, C06, I thought was 06, 05 was the power top for the convertible. So a lot of stuff going through my head. So we got fixed roof coupe back in 99 and 2000. 2001, we had the Z06. So that kind of stuff is in my head, but with a little bit of a late start, which I don't think that's anticipating. Maybe it is. I'll take that back. Yeah, with a little bit of a late start, we're 90 days behind schedule on the launch of the C7 or the C8, excuse me. They're going to probably have this C8 go an extra year because of that, and also because of the such demand. Now, that's good. I like that idea, right? I mean, I want to see the demand go sky high, and I'm hoping dealers out there don't start deep discounting them. So the way I get paid is based off of MSRP. I don't get paid off of anything else. So I think 2022 is when we're going to see those Z06s come out. Damon says, how cheap do you see C7s going? 35 or less? I don't see too many 35s. I've seen a couple, but very rare, and they're typically with higher mileage, 70, 80,000 miles. I don't see too many 35s yet. Question I get asked quite a bit. Let's go down through here. My favorite Vet is a 63 Vet. Jay Wilson, I agree. I love the 63 Vet. Let me go to the phone here. So let's see here. So, here's a good one from 613 area code. Is that Missouri? Let's see here. 613 area code. I love, this is like a little game that I play behind the scene when somebody calls in, where they're at and stuff like that. Oh, Ontario, Canada. That's why I didn't recognize it. Ontario, Canada, eh? By the way, for the Canada people, you can see right there, Canada key tag. You can go to that right there at ChevyDudeStore.com. Get your Chevy Dude merch. Shipping out. I always ship out on Sundays is when I do it. So Ontario, Canada asks, do you recommend an early oil change after 500 miles? So the owner's manual does not say 500 miles, but I don't know. I think I do. I think I'm going to change my oil right away in the car, and just get it done, because you just never know, right? I mean, they came out with the C7. It's all dry sump, so I think you should do it at 500 miles. Even though they don't say it, you're probably gonna have to pay for it. Chevrolet's not gonna pay for it, because I do believe I gotta double check this, but I think you do get one free oil change still with the cars. So I would do it. I personally am going to do it. Strobe said, can you give me the winning lottery number so I can afford one? So I need everybody down below in the comment section, hit the thumbs up, and give Strobe the winning lottery number so I can sell him a car or her a car. Thanks. So let's go here. Where is C8? Don't know. Everybody asks. New York in the house. Robert Bass, how's it going? 2020 ZR1. Nope. Just mentioned that. What's the percentage of new Corvette sales are financed? Ooh, this is a good one. I don't know the exact number, but I have a pretty good idea. Really probably close to 60%, I would say, maybe up to 70, but 60% is probably a good range of where the Corvettes are going to be financed at. So 60%, I think, is that number. It's probably a pretty good average. And again, nothing concrete. But a good guess, and if I'm off 10%, it's not that big of a deal. But there's a lot more cash on a Corvette than there is anything else. Let's go down here. Ooh, I can talk about this. What is your impression on the DCT? DCT, for people who don't know, is dual clutch transmission. I just talked about that a second ago, and love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't wait to drive this thing more. So I've driven a double clutch transmission before, but I really didn't know it, right? So like I've never really been into exotic cars, like looking at them, right? But I just think they're so far off that I would never be able to afford one. So, and even now, I mean, I just can't see myself spending $300,000 on a car. It's just nuts. Maybe if YouTube takes off and I get 1 million viewers and subscribers or whatever, and my videos consistently get 200,000 views, I'll do it for the channel, right? But I just can't see it. So I've driven Lambos, I've driven Ferraris, I've driven Porsches with DCTs, and they're good. But man, this new one that Corvette's got, man, they hit it out of the park. Absolutely amazing transmission, super fast shifts. It sounds great. I'm pretty sure I can get this car to shoot fireballs. And I want to explain that into a later video, but I'm pretty sure I can get the C8 to shoot some fireballs. It's going to be pretty sweet. Let's see here. A lot of people asking where my C8 is. I've talked about that. So here's a good one. Have you had many orders? This is about Randy, by the way. He's got a C6 on his profile picture. Love it, with hash marks. Randy asked, have you had many orders changed from coupe to convertible? Not really would be that answer. And the reason why is I think a lot of people realize what they want right up front. They want a coupe, they want a convertible. And we weren't really doing orders yet when the convertible was released, when it was unveiled. So, but from my clients and people talking to me, they're like, hey, I want the convertible when it comes out. I want a coupe. They kind of knew up front, what they want. So, will there be a butterfly door option? I saw somebody pull up in a butterfly door. I saw on Facebook or Instagram or something and open it up on a C8. I don't know what that is. I don't know how they're doing that. So, I don't think there's going to be a butterfly door option. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that's green screen. I don't know what that is. I have no idea. It's crazy. Maybe you guys know. Again, my ignorance. I don't watch a lot of YouTube. I don't get a lot of YouTube. I do it for multiple reasons. One, because I'm so busy, but two, also, I don't want my content creation. I don't want my thought processes blurred by what somebody else does, right? So I don't want to copy people. I want to make my own content. I want to make my own stuff. If I do something like someone else, that puts me in the range of everyone, right? Why would you want to watch me? So that's kind of the way I think, and that's kind of the way I look at things. I want you to watch me because of who I am. I want you to watch me because I bust my butt behind the scenes and get a lot of information for people out there. I want you to watch me who I am because you know that you can come to me for trusted information, trusted source for reliable, dependable information. And even when it's wrong, right? I'm wrong a lot. Trust me, I'm wrong a lot. But I'll admit when I'm wrong and I'll be like, oh, wait, blah, 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 right? And there's a reason I don't clickbait videos, right? So everybody's really easy about, oh, you're clickbaiting. I don't clickbait videos much because I'm a car salesman, and car salesmen are not liked very much. So if I clickbait, then I'm just another car salesman and I lose credibility. So I really don't clickbait. I got to make my thumbnails and titles clickable, right? But there's a difference between clickable and intriguing and getting people pulled in to watch the video compared to clickbait. And I think anybody who's watched me for a long time, I don't clickbait. What was the, here, I'll tell you this little secret. The ordered my car wrong, right? I ordered my car wrong. That was a 50-50 clickbait, right? That was like when I ordered my car, it was questionable. Nobody was telling me what was going on, stuff like that. It's like, is this rims? Is this just wheels? And then it's crazy that I get, tire pressure monitors in and all this stuff, lug nuts. I ordered the lug nuts, but that would be one of my like 50-50 clickbaits. The video I did clickbait, 100% clickbait, would be when we got our last Chevy Cruze in. And I can't remember the title of that video, but I just titled The End, right? That was 100% clickbait. But I wanted people to get involved and see the era of what I thought was a great car. I have a Chevy Cruze in my driveway right now. My daughter drives one. She had a Chevy Cruze before that. I love Chevy Cruzes. They're fantastic vehicles. And we lost a lot of great jobs up in Ohio with that. So I kind of wanted people to be drawn in. But you know how many people thought that I quit the dealership? It's crazy. So I can't really do stuff like that either. So they just kind of get behind the scenes of some of my thinking and thought processes on my videos. I just don't want to do goofy stuff. I want to have fun. I need to have entertainment value, but I want to just do the right thing. Josh Malone, that's a C7. C7 in his profile picture. Is the 2LT Target headliner the same material on the C8 as a C7? I would say it's pretty close, right? So, I mean, to the visual, to the eyes, to the touch, it's the same. Let's just put it that way. Is there some type of manufacturing process that's different? Probably. Who knows? I'm not there for the manufacturing process, but for the visual and the touching, let's just say yes. So will they make any changes to the back end? If so, square from the back. It looks so square. I bet he meant it looks so square from the back. No, they're not going to make any changes. Look, everybody hated the Camaro looking lights of the C7, right? They didn't make any changes. They left them the same way. They like the design. This is a car that they put out there and they've worked on since 2013 and 14, right? They've worked on this car for a long, long time. They're not going to do anything goofy with it. Let me look over some of the other stuff here. At a truck question, we're going to stick strictly to C8. Yep, this is a good one. So Brian said, I saw a video today that showed the rear amber turn signal indicators are slightly sequential. Pretty cool. They are sequential. I do like that. I don't know if anybody's really mentioned that or saw that. So I'm glad Brian saw it. But yeah, I'm waiting for the, you copied the Mustang comments, right? That's what's going to happen. So I like them. They look really, really awesome. So in my video that goes live Sunday night, you're going to see the back ends and you'll see the turn signals on. They're really, really awesome. All right, so this one says, why is the destination charge the same for all areas? It's just like a few hours away from Bowling Green versus California. This is coming from Randy. Perfect question. I've gotten this question many, many times offline, and people ask me what the deal is. So destination charges is charged based off of an average, right? So the manufacturer makes that charge up. It's not coming from the dealership. And they're basically saying, regardless of where we go, one, they can make a profit on it, right? You know, they're making a profit on it, which is fine. Dealership does not make a profit on destination charge from what the manufacturer charge. And so they're basically saying, okay, it cost us just a couple $100 to send one to Louisville, Kentucky from Bowling Green, Kentucky. But it may cost us $3,000 to send it to Hawaii or Alaska, right? So when they average those all out, they're $1,000 or whatever, $1,295. And then when they load up, I think, is it 11 that they can put on the truck now? 10, something like that. It's one less than the C7. I think it's 10. Then, you know, it just equals out. It's all science to them. And it's all internal that I have no idea on. Chris Marsh, what color brake calipers you order on your C8? I got yellow ones. So I did white exterior, blue interior, yellow calipers. Just wanted to be goofy, right? It's number one, it's the most expensive car I've ever bought. I've never paid this much money. And once I get done with adding ground effects to it and stuff like that, I'm going to be well over $100,000 on this car, which is scary. It's stressful. And I need to do things like this every single night and get people on here and watch my ads on YouTube and get going. So, but let's go down this a little bit more. Which one's faster, your Tesla or the C8? Someone named Your Face wrote, which is grammatically incorrect. Your Y-O-U apostrophe A-R-E is what it is. Y-O-U apostrophe R-E for your face. But I'm not one to speak about grammatics. I'm horrible at it. So which one's faster, the Tesla or the C8? C8's definitely way, way faster than the the C8 is definitely way faster than the Tesla. Is the C8 faster than the GT, Ford GT. It's a good one. I think they're pretty close. I think the GT's got a higher top end speed, but I think the 0 to 60 is really, really close. Don't know much about the Ford GT because it's not something I sell. It's not something I work with. I'm a car guy. I love it, but I'm not going to buy one because it's a Ford. But so I don't really get involved with it, right? So because I'm so involved with car business and inside the Chevy store, just in the Chevy brand, I mean, I have like 92, 93, 94 trim levels I got to remember, right? So just in the Silverado alone, we have work truck, we have custom truck, we have custom Trail Boss, we have LT, we have RST, we have LT Trail Boss, we have High Country, we have LTZ. So we have 8 trim levels there. And then in each one of those trim levels, you have different packages and everything else. So it's so confusing on what I have to keep in my head and what I learned and stuff like that. So, yeah, I've I gotta keep on topic with my stuff there. Walter J says, "Hey Mike, how are you?" Dustin Lee says, "Mike, love your videos. Thank you so much." So here's one. I'll talk about this one. Lewis says, "I want to order the new Tahoe with the diesel, and the local dealership doesn't know anything. Can you help me with info for orders?" So the new car definitely is the new Tahoe is just definitely coming out. I've got a couple of them ordered already, a couple of them sold already, but I have to look on the order for that. I don't have that stuff memorized yet. Does the car redline at 6K RPM? Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. I would have to go back and look at video. I think it's 7,500. I think. Don't quote me on that. Definitely don't quote me on that. But I would have to go look at video and look at it, because I do have video of inside the car where it redlines at and stuff like that. But I'm thinking somewhere up around that edge. So close enough for government work and a public school math education. I heard that Chevy is bringing back the Chevy S10 truck. Is that true? Nope. We have the Colorado. That's what it is. Mike, Dustin asks, will you mod your Vet? I plan on modding my Vet. So I'm working really, really well with Corsa exhaust. I'm hoping to put a Corsa exhaust on it down the road. Corsa is not going to be first to market with their exhaust because they're going to have the best quality exhaust out there, which is why I chose them. And when I communicated with Corsa on, hey, how soon can we get a exhaust on my Corvette, they're like, don't count on it. We're not going to be first to market, but we're going to be the best on the market, is exactly what the words of them were saying. So I'm really excited about that. Read down through here. Please tell my wife to buy me the dang car, please. I'm going to phrase that out for YouTube algorithm. Please tell my wife to buy me the dang car, please. All right, Ronnie's wife, buy him the car, please. All right, we get 1,000 thumbs up on the video. Ronnie's wife is going to buy him the car. So let's get some thumbs up. So Skip Hedgepath said, how do you think of the Michelin AS3 tires compared to the 4S? The 4S is designed exclusively for the C8, so that's kind of interesting. But man, there's a lot of Michigan people texting me. It's crazy. Are you guys up in Michigan bored? You got a lot of snow or something? You're just watching me on YouTube. So for the Michigan people, I know about it. So like my friends all live in Grand Rapids and all that stuff. Yeah, I got it down. I know all about Michigan. So, but yeah, so the 4S's, I don't have a whole lot of time on them. But they seem to do really well. So one thing I do know with GM is GM marries a tire to a car, and they do a fantastic job. And again, nothing negative, not throwing darts at anybody, not trying to poke the bear or anything like that. But the one thing that I can always relay back to is the the Firestone blowout tires on the Ford Explorer, right? So that was back when I was a young kid, like in the 90s or whatever. But what I've learned and being in the car business now for 20 years is that we as in GM had the same tires on our trucks and SUVs, but we didn't have the blowouts because General Motors does all this crazy quality on tires, and they do a lot of extensive quality work on them. So if you look at a GM tire, there's a little code on there called TPC spec, and then there's some numbers after that. And that's how you know that if you've got a manufacturer OEM tire. So let's just use BF Goodrich as an example. So BF Goodrich may put a tire on one of our trucks or cars or SUVs, right? But if you go out to a tire barn or a Bell Tire, since we have so many Michigan people watching me and texting me, or if you go out to just a tire warehouse and you're like, hey, listen, I want to get this BF Goodrich. And they're like, okay, well, we have 3 different types of 235, 45, 19s, whatever the number is. And typically speaking, as a consumer, we're like, well, we'll take the cheapest one. That's because the more expensive one's probably that GM OEM tire, and they go through extra quality control, which makes that expensive. So they may have 3 exact same tires, named the exact same thing, but they're different costs just for that simple reasoning. So, this is a good one. I got this in from a 586 area code. That's California, I do believe. Get my little crazy game of where are area codes. Oh, come on. Am I stupid? I'm just a stupid idiot. 586 is Macomb County, Michigan. So I kind of be a little egotistical. It's like, I know all these area codes. I get people call me from all over the country, and then I've just like wasted 3 of them in a row. Smart move on my part. But are you planning to sell the K1500 after your C8 is delivered? That would be no. I am not selling that K1500. I hate driving trucks, right? I'm not a truck person, but I love having that truck. That truck has came in so useful so many times since I've had it since like last April. My daughter, we got new bed stuff for her, and I brought it all home in the truck. We have some new furniture coming. When it gets here, I'll bring it home in the truck. We got all that wood for this place right here, all the drywall. I brought it home in the truck. I mean, I'm like, this is crazy. This table right here, this table that I'm sitting on, we went to buy a table that we knew was going to come in on Wednesday, and we decided to go across the street to another furniture store on that Sunday, and they had this table for $200, and it collapses. It's just like a kitchen table, right? But it works perfect for my setup here. So with that being said, this has got a leaf in it right here, so it collapses. So I'm like, ooh, we're driving the Tesla. I'm like, I wonder if this will fit in the Tesla. It doesn't fit in the Tesla. So I had to go drive an hour to get my vehicle. 30 minutes back to the house, 30 minutes back to the furniture store. But that was the only inconvenience I had. I didn't have to go to some place and rent a vehicle. I didn't have to call a friend. Hey, can you help me? This is a spur of the moment thing. Wasn't expecting to buy the table. So no, definitely not getting rid of the K1500. Love the thing. Don't want to drive it every day. I'm tired of driving it every day. The Amy EV guy, the any EV guy, excuse me. Love your channel. Thanks for all you do. How long till they have a lot of aftermarket parts available for the C8 wide body kits and stuff like that? Can't wait to see how crazy people get with them. Hey, listen, I do need your guys' help. I want to have some fun with this car. And if you know of people out there, maybe I need to do a dedicated video on this so people know who I am. I don't think I'm really that well known, right? By the way, just hit 216,000 subscribers today, right before I got on the live stream. That's exciting. So I don't think I'm that well known. So I may have to do a video on this and have you guys help me to get anybody out there to maybe sponsor the car, give me some discounted stuff on parts and whatnot, to do wide body kits, just to do some crazy tall wings. I want to have some fun with this car. So yes, definitely want to mod my car. And anybody on Instagram, tag me, send them direct messages, say, hey, Chevy Dude wants to do stuff to his car. They can have my car. They can do whatever they want to it. It's gonna be a fun car. Can I put a baby seat in the C8? That's coming in from Ronnie. I would say no. I haven't read the owner's manual. The owner's manual is like right here. You can kind of see this on camera. I would say no to be on the safe side. Oh no, this crazy guy is in here from Complete Street Performance. I'm making crazy parts for the C8 with a tongue hanging out. Sweet. I know this guy, Complete Street Performance. You guys know him, Andrew with Complete Street Performance, CSP. but up in Pennsylvania, buying 2 cars from me, hopefully, if the cars ever get here. But so yeah, just tag people, hit them up in DM, tell them who I am. You guys did such a great job of getting Stratty and Amelia to my channel and knowing who I am. So I need a little like return favor. Get me out there and hit some thumbs up, guys. Let's get some thumbs up on the video here. So I would say no on the C8 for the baby seat on the C8. D-Dubs, or B-Dub, has your dealership been receiving Z51 front splitters already in preparation for the arrival of the first C8 allocations? We have not received any PDI stuff, so I'm assuming PDI stuff is going to be in the car. We don't know. So they could be thrown in the front seat or whatever the case may be. So Andrew says you can put a baby seat in the Corvette, must be front facing. So yeah, but you know, here's the thing. As soon as I say, yeah, you can, and some kid gets killed, yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, Chevy dude told me, right? So I'm not getting anywhere near that. So DH says, Mike, love the show. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. Appreciate that so much. I don't know what Michael Ward said. Hopefully that's not a middle finger. Street Hunters are making wide body kits. Yes, hit up Street Hunters. I've DM'd him. He hasn't read my message, so it must have went to spam. But spam the hell out of Street Hunters, please. I love that. I love that kit, and I definitely would do it to my car right out the gate. The C8 is the car I want. Really nice value. Gaming Crypto said, is Chevy bringing back the, somebody answered that already. Has GM announced the, let's go to this one here. Has GM announced how big the reduction of allocation will be for 20% or 25%? They have not. So I broke that story that they're lowering allocations. It did not happen when I was told it was going to happen, but I'm now getting word that mid-March is when we will see that update on the allocations, which makes sense because we got February, March. No, excuse me. We got December, January, February. Yeah, December, January, February for all these orders. So yeah, we got 90 days of orders in there, whatnot. We go down here. Sorry for the dead air. That's what happens when I'm just by myself. So this kind of goes into with what I was just saying here. 405 muscle cars is the rumor that if your car is not picked up by the 3rd week of April, will not get a 2020. I'm led to believe that's true, and I broke that as well a couple months ago, that the last week of allocations is actually the 2nd week of April, and but there may be one extra unallocated week that 3rd week, but pretty much the 2nd week of April. I got to look at the allocation schedule. So we'll have to look at that, and I'll update people on that for sure. I cannot pronounce that name. CHONCHO. How much horsepower will the C8 have? The C8 has 2 different horsepowers, 490 and 495, depending on the exhaust you have. So if you have performance exhaust, regardless if it's Z51 or non-Z51, you got 495 horsepower, and then 490 horsepower without the performance exhaust. Philip says, thanks for the podcast, dude. Granddaddy was a Chevy dealer, and he told me about when they couldn't sell the first years of Corvettes. Really, it's interesting. Thanks for your comment. Appreciate it, Philip. 405 Muscle Cars was pounding out the horsepower. Thank you. So I'm just kind of running down these. Question on Ford F-150. We're not going to talk about Fords. So Everin says, when can we expect the C8 to be sold for $5,000 or more off MSRP? I don't know. It depends on what the production schedule is like and the supply and demand, right? So I'm really hoping that it's a couple years from now. So if it's a couple years from now and we don't see the supply drop or the supply stay where it's at and the demand still stays up, that's good. That's what we want, right? That's good for people who are trading their cars in. That's good for everybody. So that's really good. So hopefully it's a couple years from now. I just had a text message come in from a client, Mark Boyd. I don't know if you're watching, Mark, but Mike, what about the allocation on the convertible? So talked about this before on the channel. There is no separate allocations for coupe or convertible. It's C8. There's one allocation, and it doesn't matter what you get. It's one C8. So there's no separate allocations. Did you go to Ferrump? Yes, I did go to Ferrump. I was at Ferrump at the beginning of December, but I have not been able to produce the videos because I was under an embargo. I have got word that my embargo is up, and I'm working on producing those videos and getting them up ASAP. Maybe Sunday night at 5:45. We'll see. What did they discount? When did the discount start for the C7? The discount started for the C7 second year. I discounted the first C7. I worked my butt off to get this guy a low VIN number. He got VIN number 10, I think. Discounted it pretty heavily for him just because he's part of our Corvette group and whatnot. But yeah, so year 2 it started, but I don't think it's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen on the C8. Hopefully it stays there. Go through these questions again. So, Warhawk Legend says, just joining in. Did any customer receive their C8 yet? No customers have received C8s yet. So, it's one thing to remember on all this, right? So, the reveal happened in July. So we have 5 months between July and December. We had a 45-day strike or 41-day or whatever it was, and then so now we had 2 more months. So we've only had 7 months before production started. That's it. And really less than that because it was the end of July, right? So this time frame on this car is much shorter than the C7, but the hype on this car is crazy. It's a whole lot more than the C7, which is exciting, which is awesome. And I'm proud. I'm really glad and proud to be part of it, right? And I can get the information out there. But yeah, so it's out there. So 513 area code at Cincinnati, Ohio. We're not going to screw up that one because I get a lot of phone calls from that. It says, Chevy Dude, this is a text message, by the way. If you do want to text your messages in, this is only a text number. I do not look at it for sales-related questions. It's 502-909-5192. That comes in from 513 area code. Hey, Chevy Dude, are you going to do a YouTube video when you take delivery of your C8? Thanks, Kevin. Yes, Kevin, I will certainly be doing so. Someone said 732. Where am I from? Oh gosh. See, I'm drawing a blank. 732. 732 area code. Oh man. See, I don't know that one. See, this is what happens. I put myself on the spot. I can't put myself on the spot like that. So another 216 area code. That's Texas. Let's see if I'm right on that one. 216. That's like San Antonio, I think. So the 216 area code asked, what do you think about, oh my gosh, see this, what am I doing tonight? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to shut up about this whole, I know where these area codes are. I'm really, really not good at this after all, now that I think about it. So 216, what do you think about the Hennessy doing a 1200 horsepower C8? I mean, I don't know much about Hennessy. Anytime someone brings up Hennessy to me, again, not bashing them. I don't know them. Never met them. I did see him at SEMA, and I don't know. He just had this persona about him. Kind of was, I don't know. Just had a negative vibe to me, right? So I didn't approach him and introduce myself or anything like that. But I mean, you don't see too many Hennessy cars out there on the racetracks do anything. That's the only thing, So again, nothing negative, not saying anything negative. That's just my thought process. Nope, don't put that one up there. Production, this is a good one. Nova asked, when will the production of the C8 convertible start? April 1. So production started February 2nd, right? Really started before that because I know my car was on the line the Wednesday before for sure. So, that's a long line to go through, but to produce a car. So it's on the final line, I think, for a day and a half, I think is really what the number is. So production started February 2nd for coupe. Convertible starts April 1st. And at the end of August is the last production of the C8 for the 2020 model year. In September 1, whatever that first Monday in September is, starts the 2021 on it. So KCLMAGS, KC Images. Oh, KC Images. Hey, bud, great studio. What about the ECU replacement? BS. We'll see. You know, again, there's nothing but rumors out there. No third party has put a computer on the C8 ECU. So we'll see. You know darn well that I'm going to be putting one on day one. So we're going to find out. But, you know, I'm not a fan of GM locking this stuff down, right? These are our cars. This is my car that I buy. I should have the right to do whatever I want to this car, regardless of any laws. California's BS, cold air intake law, exhaust law, stupid. But they shouldn't lock this stuff down. Maybe there's some type of government agency out there that says, hey, listen, they're cracking down on this, right? I don't know. Government's kind of cracking down on diesels. You know, if people delete if people delete diesels, they're going to get in trouble. So I don't know. Maybe there's something out there that I don't know. But not a big fan of it. I think we should be able to mod and tune our cars whichever way we want. So what, Benjamin asked, what's the ZR1 compared to the C8 highest spec made? I'm not sure exactly if I understand that question. What's the ZR1 compared to the C8 highest spec made? So I assume you're talking about C7 ZR1 compared to the C8. There really isn't any comparison, but the thing to look at and the thing to, it's really, really interesting is that the 755 horsepower ZR1, 2.9 seconds. The 495 horsepower C8, 2.9 seconds. It's going to be impressive when we get that ZR1 and those higher horsepower cars in the C8. You know, people now putting 508 air codes. Oh my gosh. Is the sound system speakers loud? I addressed the sound system right at the beginning of everything. So it's super loud. It's the loudest system I think that Bose has ever put in the car. I'd have to go back and look at my notes from early February or early December, but pretty loud. It's pretty awesome. I have did I do that? I'm trying to remember. So when we were in Ferrump, they had us turn the radio all the way up, and I can't remember if I got my decimal meter out on my phone to see how loud it was, but it's pretty loud. So I have had it all the way up. So, are you able to get in contact with Purchase the Trail Boss? Yes. ChevyDude.com for purchase inquiries. The phone number for this podcast is not available for purchase. It will not be answered. It will not be looked at. My phone literally gets turned on while I'm doing live streams, and that's it. Hey, everybody, do me a favor. Share this stream on your social media. Tell people about the stream. Let's talk about more C8 stuff. I've been on a little over an hour now. So hour and 10 minutes, maybe another 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I can talk all night long. I can be on this thing for 10 hours if you guys want me to. As long as you guys are here and share the stream and thumbs up the videos and all that stuff, I'll be here all night long. So let me read this one. This one looks like a good one. Dominic asked, if you have an order in for a 2020 C8 Corvette, when do you think GM will let us know if we're going to get a 2020 or a 2021? If you are lower on the allocation list, it's not really GM letting you know. It's going to be the dealership. And like I said earlier in the broadcast, unfortunately, the answer is I don't know. I don't like saying that answer, but that's the truthful answer, and it's not a BS answer, right? So I think a lot of dealerships out there will just BS your way through it and just be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And they just tell you something to appease you. And then it comes time for that to come to fruition. If it doesn't come to fruition, then it's like, oh, you said this and you said that, or whatever the case may be. So I don't know is really the answer on that. So, again, Dominic asked, if you have an order for a 2020 C8 Corvette, when do you think GM will let us know if we're going to get a 2020 or 2021, if you're lower on the 2021, if you're lower on the allocation list. So, so it's really just going to be dependent on if people allow the cars to get through, how many they have on their list, how many customers they have, stuff like that. My wife is now in the room. Are you going to talk?
I'm now unmuted.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I had you muted. So I've
been watching for a while, and you're yapping way too much and not answering enough questions.
Oh, okay. So this is what's great about having you in here with me when we're doing
I
Beyond the
offered,
Showroom.
and you told me no, you could handle it yourself.
Yep. I've only got one camera on, so you're not gonna have to worry about being on camera.
Hey.
I don't think I got 2 cameras on. Nope. Only got one camera on, and I know I shut that one off. Yep.
That's fine.
No camera there. So just one. We don't want your ugly mug on here.
Exactly.
So C8 ragtop, big earn dog. C8 ragtop. Nope, no more ragtops. It's all gonna be hard
Thank
tops.
goodness.
You like
I like the hard top.
You like the hard top? So here's a question for you. So did I order my car right or wrong?
It depends on who you ask.
I'm asking you.
Well, you didn't order what I wanted, so it's wrong.
See, I already knew that.
My C7 was ordered wrong too.
Yeah, it was. You want to take that and we can look at some questions on there?
It wasn't what I wanted.
Yep. I know. Let's go to this one. I like the rumor things. How true is the rumors on C8 delivery from Bowling Green today? Well, it's 8:55 p.m. on the East Coast and 7:55 p.m. Down in Bowling Green, and they didn't get shipped out. So to tell everybody, I don't want to do rumors. I don't want to talk about speculation. I want to talk about factual information. Am I right all the time? No. I do not will never come on here and say I'm right. I'm never going to pound my chest and say that I'm the almighty or all of that BS stuff. I'm human. I could be wrong. I only want to publish what I believe is true and factual information, which is why you don't see me talking about, hey, I think shipping's going to start tomorrow. I had people tell me, credible people tell me that if things go right, that they're going to ship out today, but I did not put that stuff out there because I wanted to see a truck leave with production cars before I produced it. So as far as I know, no production cars left the plant today.
Okay. Somebody asked if you are selling your extra set of stock C8 wheels and tires. The answer is no.
No? Oh, you said that with some authority.
You will have some C7 wheels for sale soon, but
yep, I will. I will have some I'll have my chrome C7s
but
complete setup, 100% setup.
Yeah,
we're going to be selling those soon. You guys will see why soon.
And then another question is, do you recommend magnetic ride control if you're not tracking the car?
Perfect. I love that question. So magnetic ride control on C7 was designed for track use. On the C8, it's not. It's designed for everyday driving. The stiffest suspension that the C8 has on it is the stock suspension, the suspension that does not come on the Z51 car. That's your roughest and toughest and tightest suspension. So magnetic ride control is going to be huge. So I believe this is magnetic ride control 4. I need to go watch this video that I recorded of a product trainer. I'm not allowed to put the video out on the internet, but I have a video that I recorded a lot of stuff so that way I could be really educational about it. But I need to go back and read it again. But he talks about magnetic ride control in there, and the magnetic ride control 4 is definitely tuned to street use. You got another one?
I'm reading through some stuff, but I do know somebody's been spamming your YouTube comments.
Is it Andrew?
No.
Is it from
I did see
CSP?
Andrew talking, sitting there throwing some crap. No, but somebody just keeps asking about Stradman's car, which
I brought that up early.
We
can't talk about it. Yeah.
But I'm just saying we don't know anything.
Yeah. So, yep, don't know anything. Who's Stradman? Never heard of the guy. So, let's go to this one. Horsepower Avenue. Why is one mirror longer than the other? I gotta remember the terminology that they used. They told us it was to deal with aerodynamics. So the passenger mirror is 2 inches longer, so that way wind would go through and cut through, and so the car would cut through the wind much easier, stuff like that. So it's all aerodynamics as in a nutshell. They did go into, when I was in Ferrump, they did go into great detail of why that is, but in a nutshell, its aerodynamics. Did they not build today? Mike, did they not build today? KC Images. No, they built today. I know they produced cars today because I had one come off the line today. So yeah, definitely we're building cars today.
Okay. I've seen this question several times. Do you think the C8's getting the electric car, or do you think we have to wait till the C9?
Ooh, I don't know. Because
I know what I want.
Yes. Because I think we were at lunch that one time, which we're not going to talk about it, but we were at lunch that one time when that person brought up some information that I've never shared with anybody on the C8. So, I don't know. It's really interesting. So I don't know if we'll see a fully electric C8.
I would love to see a fully electric C8.
I think so. Compete against Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely. So to talk about that, I just had this conversation today. Bill Mann, I picked up Bill. He's my new our new truck manager, and he asked me to pick him up across the street, which I did, and I took a Chevy Bolt off the lot. I love the Bolt. The Bolt's a fantastic car, and this could be a topic for another like impromptu podcast. And GM has got the best electric systems on the market. They really do. So knowing the ins and outs of this stuff, talking to the engineers, we smoke Tesla when it comes to the electronics and the brains behind the car. What we don't smoke them on is marketing and looks. Outside that, we've got them beat. So, but that's it. The
I
Lambo,
really do have to question that one.
The Lambo, you see, but it's because you don't know the inner workings of it, right? So, I had a really good conversation with some of the electrical engineers and some of the engineers for the Bolt one day, and they've given me some information, and then also I think the YouTube channel called Teslanomics. I met him a couple years ago. He's out of California, and he was giving me some. He's nuts. He's like crazy, super smart, and he was telling me some stuff. Somebody asked me if I'm the Lambo or water Fiji. I don't know what that means, but I like Fiji water.
Okay, somebody just asked, what's your favorite Corvette generation?
C7. So C8's not here yet, so I'm not going to answer the C8 because I want some time behind it. But I've sold Corvettes for almost 20 years, and I was never interested in buying one until C7. So C7's.
I would say definitely the C7 got my attention, but now that I look back, I do like the looks of a C3.
Yeah, C3. Yeah, I definitely like C3. What I don't like on the C4 is I saw somebody post this about the C7. This is what's crazy about being in so many of these groups. You see some crazy stuff. The C4, every time I'd get in that stupid car, I would bash my shin on the point right there by the lights. The lights are right here. When you're sitting in the, people see me on the camera, when you're sitting right here, the light switch is right there, and there's a point right there. And I would bash my shin every single time I get into the C4, and it makes me so mad. Somebody mentioned that on the C7. It's like, I've never hit my shin on the C7. And I'm 6'3", and it's tight. It's tight to get in. So Corvette Lover 495 says, Mike, will you think the C8 Z06 will do 0 to 60 in 2.5 or faster? I think so. I think 2.5, 2.6, 2.5. It's gotta be a half a second faster than the C8.
I mean, it's not gonna be worth buying if it's not faster.
I mean, it's gotta be 1.9, right?
I don't know about that.
Get a 1.9 0 to 60.
But I've seen several questions regarding when's the Grand Sport coming out, when's the Z06 coming out, when's the ZR1 coming out. At this time, we just don't know.
Right.
Chevy's not giving any of that information out. I'm just saying, I'm seeing more questions come in, so.
So here's one. Brandon says, and I'm not sure if he was talking to somebody else or referring to my comment earlier about the tops. It says, plus top comes off in coupe, so that invisible lessens convertible demand. So, just the convertible in general, people, it's like 1 out of 5 on the C7. It was every fifth car was a convertible. I just, a lot of times the convertibles have to deal with the looks, right? I didn't like the C7 convertible because it took away the lines.
Yeah, you lost all the lines as soon as you put the top down. And even with the top up, you still lost lines. Right. I mean, it's not as sexy as the coupe.
Yeah, but with the C8.
Oh, I love the hard top.
But the coupe too. Yeah, the hard top coupe you're talking about. But here's what I don't like about the C8 convertible. So growing up as a kid, and I've been talking about this lately, a lot lately. We grew up poor, right? I know. We grew up poor, and looking at a Lamborghini, a Ferrari back in the day. Grew up with Magnum PI and driving that red sweet car through Hawaii. You could always see the engine, right? So now you see these cars, and I can buy this car and I can see the engine, and it's like, oh, I gotta have that. So the C8 convertible doesn't do it for me because you can't see the engine. If I could see the engine, it'd be a totally different scenario. I love the nacelles. I love that you can paint them black. I love that you can have the roof all black. I love all of that. So that's the only thing I don't like about the convertible, and that's so minimal and so minuscule and doesn't mean anything to anyone. But it's pretty sweet.
Okay, a couple more technical questions. Break-in period for the C8.
Yeah, so break-in period is I was reading about that last night. I've read this. You guys can see the owner's manual right there. I've been reading that nonstop, and it's just my head's about to explode on it. But the break-in period is basically 500 miles of no hard starts, no hard stops, no redlining, 4,000 RPM, and then no track events up to 1,500 miles. That's basically the break-in period. Somebody asked me earlier, do you change your miles at 500 miles? I'm going to. GM's not going to pay for that. I think we have one maintenance available on this. GM's not going to pay for that, but I would do it. I mean, you can never over maintenance your car. You can never be too safe. So if you have to go spend $150 to do an oil change 500 miles in, who cares? It's an expensive car. Take care of it, right? And nothing negative is ever going to come out of it. So I was asked, how come you did not elect for museum delivery option for yourself? So I like to support the museum in other ways. So I didn't do the museum delivery because, in a nutshell, I think I would be wasting time for somebody else that would want to do museum delivery, because the museum delivery is amazing and it's a great experience, but it's not a great experience for me because I know the car. I'm at the museum all the time. So I like to support them in other ways. Do your museum delivery, as I talked about it here. Go down and kind of showcase them on the channel, and just kind of do some things behind the scenes with them as well.
Yeah, they go over the car really well when they're delivering it.
Better than me. Promise you 100%.
Oh yes, well, especially after my delivery of my C7.
You got the 3C delivery. You guys know what the 3C is? Put it down in the comments now. Do you know what a 3C delivery is? Do you know what it is?
No.
3C delivery. See the car, see the keys, see you later. Maybe that could be a good merch shirt. 3C delivery specialist.
Yeah. So the museum delivery guys go over the car very well, and I don't even want to see what comments are coming out of that.
I haven't looked at it yet. Bill Lindblade's on. Bill's customer of mine. He's got one of my first cars. Is anybody ever going to have filters to change the oil? So they should. They should. So, but
okay.
3C delivery specialist.
Have you talked about why one mirror sticks out further?
Yeah, we just talked about that. You were in here. Is this your first podcast?
Wait, I wasn't in here for that.
Oh, you sure? Is it my fault? Am I making a mistake?
It's kind of like your daughter trying to tell me she told me she went to the movies and that I asked her what movie she was going to, and we never had the conversation. And I didn't get to catch the whole broadcast because, I was busy.
Someone says, how many cars do you typically sell in a month? I do not like to talk about that. I hate talking about that. I'm superstitious
yes, do.
I'm superstitious about it. And every time I talk about it, I fall flat on my face and screw something up. Kind of like tonight when I say, oh, I know all the area codes. I get all these area codes from blah, 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 blah. And then I've missed every single one of them except for 513, which is Cincinnati. Somebody probably text me from 260 area code, and I'm like, oh, where's that at? That must be blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's from where I'm originally from, Fort Wayne, Indiana. So KC Images. This is a 2020 Corvette show, folks. Thanks, buddy. Make you a moderator. Moderate these people.
Have you talked about headroom?
Yeah, we can talk about headroom. I have not.
Okay. So somebody wants to know they're 6'3", which is just about what you are.
6'3". I'm 6'5". I'm 6'5" in heels.
Hey, you say I'm 5'2" all the time when I'm 5'3".
You are 5'2".
I mean, I may be short, but I'm not that short.
Not short. We can't use short. That's offensive. It's vertically challenged in the politically correct world.
I am not PC.
Neither am I.
So, do you have more room in the C8 being 6'3" than the C7?
So, yes, you do. We're going to do a video on that. So it's kind of cool that I have a C7 and C8. We're going to do a video. I've got it all figured out exactly what I'm going to do because that's a major, major question. And I'm just like I like to do. I told you guys earlier in the broadcast, I like to do my own thing. I don't want to copy people. I've got all these crazy ideas in my head. So I have a really good video planned about that because that's something that's talked about all the time. What's the headroom? What's the headroom? I know Will Purdue really well. Will Purdue that played with Michael Jordan basketball. I was talking to him one day and I was like, hey, can I put you in with a top on and, see how well, Will Purdue's like 7'6" or something like that. He barely fits through our doors. Like he ducks to go out the door, the big, tall doors at work. It's crazy. So, but, where did I see this one at? Brock asked, cause he's a customer of mine when I answer this, I ordered the high wing. They will be installing it at Chevy Dude's dealership. They will practice installing it on his car first. We will.
Exactly.
It'll be interesting on that car because I've got the high wing, but what I have not gotten yet from GM is the install process. What bumper if you take the bumper off or whatever. So Brad, my PDI guy, is on his game, and he'll figure it out. But it's going to take us a minute. So definitely, I'm going to be the guinea pig of that. So we're going to install ground effects on my car.
Better you than somebody else.
Yep. Ground effects on my car. All that stuff. So it'll be fun.
Somebody asked, having driven the C8, can you give your impressions of the three suspensions, FE1, FE3, and FE4?
I kind of just did that. Yeah. So the FE1 is the stock suspension, non-Z51 car. It's going to be the roughest riding suspension that you have. And I mean, I say roughest riding. I mean, these cars ride really well, right? So it's not like you're going to like start having your teeth rattle out of your head, right? But it's really, really a good ride, but it's not the softest ride. So the FE3 is Z51 ride, typical Z51 set up for racing, stuff like that. Again, it's softer than the other ride. And then the magnetic ride control is definitely the softest out of all of them. So that's the one, and that's different from C7. C7 magnetic ride control was designed for track use. C8, it's designed for street use.
Here's a great question. Insert sarcasm. Sorry, whoever asked this, but Mike, are you going to do a video on your C8 when it arrives at the dealership?
I think I asked that question already. Is that a 513 area code?
Nope, 856.
856. Oh, somebody else asked that too. Yep, definitely be doing that.
But yes.
Don't be sarcastic to my viewers, okay? I'll kick you off this broadcast. I can mute you right now. You're muted. Oh, don't be sticking. You're like I didn't have a camera on you. Sticking your tongue out at me. All right.
You use me for the sarcasm.
Yeah, inventory.
And keeping you on track.
Yep. Let's see here. I'm going through. You got some questions. Horsepower. I mean, what does one mean?
Is the break-in period controlled at all by the vehicle?
We're gonna find out. I don't know.
Exactly.
So that's one of those things with rumors, right? That's what's being said out there, that you're not gonna be able to go over X amount of RPM. That I don't believe that's true. I don't think that's true because the reason why is, let's say you got to get out of the way of a semi or a truck or a car or whatever. There's an emergency situation. You need to punch it, right? And you can't go over 4,000 RPMs. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. So I don't think that's true, but we're going to find out. I promise you. Wait till you see the first video I do.
Have you talked about your first mod to the car?
Secrets.
Hey, you said Ask me anything C8. So I am just asking the questions that are here.
What just happened there? All of my overlays just played one time. I don't know how 65.
It's
so
sarcastic.
Yeah. So a lot of people were saying 6,500 RPMs earlier. Somebody asked me about RPMs. I see those answers in there now. So in my day I was talking about that. So I'm really far behind on these questions.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. But that's what happens when you're one person in. We're an hour 35 minutes in. So appreciate everybody being on here. Probably maybe give it 10 more minutes. Yeah, we'll go 15 minutes. 9:30. We're gonna hard cut this off at 9:30 p.m. So the best questions you have, C8 related, text them right there, 502-909-5192. Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Me and my lovely wife are on right here. Did I say something wrong?
No, you just said lovely wife. I was surprised by that comment.
I'm on camera. It'd be nice to you. So 7 p.m. Eastern time, every Tuesday night, we're going to talk about car business. Not so much this, but
yeah, it will not be C8 related.
Yeah. So I know they said that Ken just said on the Jay Leno show, Todd said there's a limit for the first 500 miles. I don't know if that's what he meant though. I saw that, but I'm not sure that's what he meant. I think that's the way it came out, but we'll see. We're gonna find out. I'll report. Trust me. It's the reason I'm getting this car, because we're gonna squash any rumors, any hearsay. We're gonna be factual information. Next.
Oh, I'm trying to find some good content here that you haven't talked about.
So we're gonna talk about this right here. So this is Andrew was on earlier. I'm not sure if he's on still. He says the quality looks so good. Mine always looks like a potato. And
I was wondering what potato was he talking about?
His phone, because he live streams from his phone. And well,
that's what happens when you spend money on a camera.
Yeah. So, well, no, what he's talking about is that I've done a lot of research on streaming, and in order for me to stream, you have to have 25 meg upload speed. You're not typically getting 25 meg upload speed on your phone. So I've done a lot of work to see all this stuff that you have. There's a lot of wires everywhere. This is an expensive board. This little guy right here, you can kind of see the edge of this, expensive. This little guy in front of me here is expensive. So all that stuff is expensive. This is extremely expensive right here. This microphone, I have 2 of them. I have 3 cameras up here, all expensive.
And let's get back to
not saying that about bragging or anything like that. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do this live stream and podcast right. And, I didn't want to mess around. So I did a lot of research. And go ahead.
All-wheel drive on the C8. Do you think it's ever going to be available?
I think it will be. Definitely think it's going to be all-wheel drive. The spy shots that we saw with the hubcaps over the wheels, I definitely think there's some stuff behind there. I think I've got a pretty good idea what it is. But again, I'm not a rumor person. I'm not a speculation person. And I think I'm dead on with what I know what it is. So I'm definitely not going to say it, because then I have GM calling me and I don't want that.
Oh, I meant to ask this question. Thoughts on daily driving the C8 through the winter in Michigan? Winter tires or the all seasons?
I did, when I went down and found my car, there was that Long Beach red car with snow tires on it from Michigan, or from Michelin. And that car is probably driving back and forth from Michigan quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, definitely in Michigan, because you get the snow and the weather up there. Definitely need snow tires on that thing up there. And that goes right into this question here. Mikey asked, run flats or not when replacing? So I've listened, because the C7 is my first Corvette. I've listened to all these people talk about the rough ride and all this stuff about how they did away with run flats and stuff like that. Well, I did away with run flats when I replaced the tires in the C7. Not going to happen again. That car loses stability at high speeds in corners, because you don't have that stiff sidewall of the run flat. So I will only put run flat tires.
I wonder how you know that.
I don't. I'm told that.
Okay. Because I don't drive the car that way, so I wouldn't know.
I let a friend drive it one time, and that's what he told me.
Oh, he went to Mexico?
Yeah. I don't do that stuff.
Okay. So somebody asked, what's the 2 best features you love on the C8? And of course, it's a little hard since we don't physically have the C8 yet.
What's the question? I'm sorry, I was reading the question too.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
Can you listen to me for
What?
once?
What?
Exactly.
Who are you? How'd you get in here?
I walked in.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, if you want to be on the live stream ever, just walk on into the house and get on. 2 best features of the C8 that you love.
I'll tell you this. I wasn't expecting to like the steering wheel. I like the steering wheel. I love the steering wheel. And probably the second one. This is my number one. The steering wheel is number 2. Number 1. You know what number 1 is. Just think about it for a second. What do I complain about in the C7 every single time? I hate this feature.
Well, cup holders.
There
I know
you go.
hate
I
because
love the cup holders in the
spill
C8.
Red Bull in my
Yes.
car.
So love the cup holders in the C8. I've got a picture that I never pushed out there because I was afraid that I'd get in trouble because I took it somewhere or I shouldn't have taken it. Yeah, I know. So, but I put water bottle in the cup holders and they do amazing. Absolutely amazing. I want to answer this question here. This is an interesting one. Dude, you say you're one of the top Corvette salesmen in the country. Are you top 10, top 100, 1,000, top 10,000? Kindly explain. So GM doesn't come out and tell us where we are ranking wise. I wish they did. I really do wish they'd say, hey, listen, it would motivate me maybe a little bit more, right? If they're like, hey, Mike, you're top 250 in the country. I would probably work a little bit harder to get top 100, top 50, right? So my friend Ali's number 1. I mean, he sold 1,000 cars one year. You know,
he's number 1 in overall Chevrolet sales.
Yes. So, but so they don't tell us. But I would have to say that I've got to be in the top 5, top 6. You know, I don't know. So the reason I think that is because Mike Furman's number 1. Dude's a beast. Love him to death. Rick Conti's got to be up there. I think he would have to be in front of me. There's got to be a couple other guys that are some of these bigger dealerships like Corvette, McMulkin. They've got to sell more cars than me. I mean, Corvette sells 1,000 cars, 1,000 Corvettes a year. So there's got to be someone there doing 100, 150, 200 Corvettes. Mike Furman does somewhere around 300 to 400. So maybe 500 this year. But so, I mean,
you just put yourself out there.
Yeah, I definitely put myself out there. I mean, we can go crazy and say I'm the number 1 YouTuber Corvette salesman, right? I'm not going to get that stupid. That's silly, but it could be fun.
Okay, not a C8 question, but someone wants to know, how can we get the hat to the far left of the live stream?
That would be ChevyDudeStore.com right there. Thank you for asking. They're on there. You can get them. Send them out right away. Not a problem. So let's see here. We got 8 more minutes.
A good one. Can you convert a base model to Z51 after you receive the car?
You can do anything, right? But you're not going to. So, you know, if you have questions, do I do Z51? Do I not do Z51? Do Z51, because Z51's got a lot of mechanical parts to it. So, but anybody can go in the parts warehouse and get all the parts and build it themselves, right? But common answer would be no, you can't.
And then somebody says, I live in a small town near Detroit and I keep seeing a blue C8 drive around my town. How would this be here if they are not out yet? That is going to be a GM, exec, employee, engineer, somebody high
media,
up.
Some type of media, something like that.
Yeah.
So here's a good one. Vet 1, SYTY, Vet 1. If you order the C8 with the high wing, will you get the low wing as well? Yes, you get 2 wings. So the Z51 wing is put on at the factory, and when you get the car to the dealership, you have to remove the Z51 and put the high wing on there.
Okay. One of your customers asked, what's the typical financing options for a C8? Do we know that?
Yeah, I mean, financing is financing. So there is just really a couple ways to finance it. Either pay cash or you finance it in, 60 months, 72, 84 months for people who own their cars a long time. And, typical rates right now are usually in the 4% and 3% range. but it all varies on credit. We talked about credit on the Beyond the Showroom podcast the other night. So if you're not familiar with that, that's that right there, Beyond the Showroom.
Hey, I like this one.
Tuesday night, 7 p.m.
Where's the battery located?
Battery's in the front. Did you know that? I should have asked you.
No, because I haven't had any time with the C8.
You're not going to either if you keep this attitude.
Obviously. I mean, you steal my C7 all the time, so I don't even get time with that.
I've had people like our daughter wants to steal the C8 to go to college class one day.
Oh, she's bugging me daily. When's the C8 coming? When's the C8
she thinks she's just going to steal. 19-year-old kid thinks she's going to steal my car, take it to school one day.
It's going to be a few months before you get to actually take that car.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest reasons I want the car too up front is it helps our dealership. People can come to our dealership, look at it, see it, sit in it, all that stuff. So, I mean, that's a big thing that I absolutely love and gonna be able to do. I mean, I'm literally not gonna probably sell any cars because people are gonna be bugging me all the time, and I say bug in a good way. Hey, can I see that car? Can I see that car? Can I see that car? And I'll probably just leave a key somewhere and like here's a key. Go look at it. It's like if I'm busy, I gotta take care of my paying customers for somebody who just wants to see the car, and I have no problems with that. People show up at the dealership all the time, and I love people showing up at the dealership, but I gotta work and make money, and Bachman Chevrolet income is not paying for this car. YouTube's paying for this car. And I've been very clear with that with my clients because I'm a little skeptical on a couple things behind the scenes, but not skeptical, conscientious of things, right? So because I'm out here talking about how not to get scammed, stuff like that, and then here I am doing all that and buying a $100,000 car. But that's what YouTube's paying for. Bachman Chevrolet income's not paying for that. I just talked about that with Ryan today.
Okay. Now, gotta love this question. Are all allocations sold out, or can I purchase a C8 from a dealership?
It's going to be tough. We talked about that at the beginning of the stream. It's going to be tough to get a C8 for 2020. So if you go to ownac8.com, you can get on my list, and I can guarantee you a car. What I can't guarantee you is when. So ownac8.com, $1,000 reservation. Once I can put your order in, I'll communicate with you that I can put your order in. At that point, it's another $4,000. And at that point, the $5,000 becomes non-refundable. When I call you and tell you that, hey, listen, I can put your order in, we have 4 options. Refund my money. Mike, I need to wait a little bit more. I want to, which kind of is in the same thing as waiting. I want a different model. Or, yep, let's go ahead and get our order done. It's really the 4 options. Like I had a guy call me today and say, hey, I want to refund my money. And I think from the tone of him, I think he was expecting me to battle him, right? He was going to he was ready for a fight. I could just tell it. The first person to ever call me and say, hey, I want my money back. Everybody usually just text me. So I felt that he was ready for a fight. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And he just was like he wanted to say something, but he's like, I can't say that. He just said, yeah, no problem. Right. He was expecting me to say no or whatever, but it's literally like somebody says, hey, Mike, I want to refund my deposit. I'm like, okay, thanks. Have a great day. No harm, no hard feelings, no loss. Call me if you want a car again. I'm here for you. It's stupid. It's not worth it. It's just not worth doing a battle over.
Okay. Somebody wants to know, how do you open the electric doors if the battery is dead?
Hold on a second. Hold that question. Bill Riffert, he says, Mrs. Chevy Dude, don't forget he scratched your bumper. I didn't scratch her bumper. The Ford Fusion hit me.
Oh.
Man.
Another time that you had my C7 instead of me driving it.
Bill just threw me under the bus and backed up over me too. I love it. I love all you guys. I really appreciate everybody being on here. We've had 6,700 people on this live stream tonight.
Well, I was one of them for a little bit.
Okay, we have 60.
And then I got fed up and came in here and hopped on.
All right, one more question.
You dismissed my question.
Okay, two questions.
So somebody wants to know how to open the electric doors if the battery's dead.
Video to come. There's actually there is.
Do you have video for the C7?
Yes. How to jumpstart your C7. That video. There's 2 keyholes on the car, But in a nutshell, on the driver's side, there's a keyhole way up there where you push your finger to open it up. If you go further up, there's a keyhole to put in there, and it opens the door. And there's a little itty bitty string with a cord on it way up by the brake pedal that you pull to pop the frunk deck lid, the frunk hood. What do you call that thing? Frunk.
Well, it's a frunk on a Tesla.
Yes.
I don't know what it's on the Corvette.
So the frunk hood, the frunk thing that comes up. I don't know what to call those things when there's no engine up there. So it's not a hood, right? It's a bonnet, right? Is it a bonnet, or the bonnet's the back? That's what the English say, the bonnet. We got the engine in the bonnet. So no, then you can go up there and jumpstart the car.
Okay.
One more question.
Somebody wants to know, how noticeable is the direct injection ticking noise in the cabin?
I didn't hear it. So here's what I'll say about that. I didn't hear it. Now, we got that Lamborghini, right? And we talked about that a lot. And this is 2015-ish, 16-ish. Somewhere, maybe before that. Zach was in the military.
No, we had our C7 already.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, so it would have been 6. I bet it
would have been
16.
16.
So we rented a Lamborghini, Huracan S 720p or something like that. I can't remember. What was it called? I don't know.
It was a Huracan.
Yeah, it was a Huracan, but it was a 710p. There we go.
I thought it was a 650.
No, it was 710.
Oh.
So,
okay.
But regardless, that was one of the comments I said. Is like, holy crap, this engine noise is horrible. But here's what I'm going to say on the C8. I didn't notice any engine noise on the C8, but I was wearing a helmet. And that's where I haven't came out and said, hey, this is noise, this is this is that. I'll do a video on that as well, because I want to, I just want to give good information. I've got all these videos wrote down, and I think it's awesome. So, as I said, we're going to hard cut it at 9:30. It's now 9:31.
Well, so you're really late.
Yes.
But somebody did ask, and I don't know if you said this earlier, but yes, his C8 will be a daily driver.
Yep, will be. I'm hoping to have 30,000 miles on the first year, because I'm going to drive this thing everywhere. I'm going to go to Cars and Coffee. I'm going to go out places things I've never done. I'm branching out.
I'll just be happy to have my C7 back.
We can go
driving a stick.
We can go both places or we can go places with the C7 and the C8.
I don't like driving two cars places. You know that.
I do. Well, guys, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being on here. We streamed for an hour and 50 minutes tonight. I'm really awesome to have just all the C8 content.
And you didn't answer everybody's questions.
I didn't. It's tough. It's tough. We'll do this again. So, we'll do Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern time, strictly going off of what I want to talk about on the podcast, taking live questions. Eventually want to get down to live phone calls, and then maybe one stream every couple weeks or something like this. And we can talk about whatever you want, or we can talk about C8, or we can say, hey, let's just have a free for all and throw your questions in.
Oh my goodness.
Have some fun and
not sure that's good
and whatnot. So, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of the stream, part of the podcast. Look up Beyond the Showroom podcast on everything. It'll be up there soon. It's on Spotify now, and it's on one other one. I can't remember which one it's on. Let me see here. Let's see if I can got it. It's on your podcast. It is. Does it tell me? It doesn't tell me.
See, I didn't know there was a bunch of places to find podcasts.
There's a bunch of places to find podcasts. Let me tell everybody.
I just go on my iPhone and look up the podcast app and find everything there.
Right. Come on. All right. So we are live on, where's this at? Distribution. We are live on Anchor and Spotify. That's where we're live on Anchor and Spotify. So just look up Beyond the Showroom podcast, and Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be live, me and her. She'll be on camera next time. And we'll have some fun and have some great subjects. If you got subjects to talk about or questions you want, that's the phone number, 502-909-5192. Until next time, guys, thanks again for watching. Have a great day and drive safely.